What's going on, guys? This is the Brigade once again, and we're back at it with another session of Killzone Shadow Fall. Alright guys, I know it has been a little while since the last time that I uploaded a commentary. But, you know, the thing is, if you guys are familiar with the channel, then you guys would know that not too long ago I just uploaded a montage. Hold on one second. Alright, I'm back at it. Sorry about that. I had to turn the television down. But if you guys are familiar with the channel, then you would know that I just recently uploaded my second montage. And you know, putting montages together can really take a long time. You know, because it's not just as simple as, you know, you find one good match, you upload clips, and you go from there. You know, a lot of times you have to take several videos, find the parts that best suit your interest, then you have to cut them, put them together, find the right music, then you have to edit it. It can really be a lengthy process. So that's kind of why I've been, you know, not really doing a lot of commentaries lately. But, you know, now that I've finally gotten that out the way, and I think I'm probably going to do one more before I finish all my Killzone Shadow Fall related montages. And that would probably come sometime after the release of the new map packs that, according to the website, we should be getting sometime in February. And actually, I really cannot wait. So I think I'll do maybe one more montage that will include, you know, material from the new maps. But other than that, you know, as you guys would know, especially from the guys that know me from Dark Souls, I really don't create that many montages. Now, I do know that there are some uploaders out there that, like, that's almost all they do, right? In other words, that they don't really upload any commentary, they don't really have anything to say, but they will upload a good list of montages. Me, I'm more about the commentary, right? So I think I'll just go ahead and do one more. And actually, I don't really know how many more maps we're going to get. I do know we're going to get 2 sometime in February, but after those 2, I don't know how many other maps Guerrilla Games will plan to create. Right? Hopefully, it will be a few more some months down the line. Alright, so enough about that. Now, just a quick update as far as myself is concerned. I just recently got an internet boost, right? Because I guess apparently I've been doing some of this, I guess what you might call caveman type gaming. Right, I guess you can call it that. Because I was using a wireless connection. I didn't really have the speed that I currently have, and one thing that I really noticed about it, I was getting kicked kind of often. Right now, I won't really say every game, but it was enough to be annoying, right, and to really interrupt my gaming experience. So after reading a little bit up on articles on the internet, I figured that I'll go ahead and upgrade my internet speed. So I went on ahead and got a boost. And I changed my connection from a wireless to a wired connection. And let me tell you something. I can definitely tell the difference. And actually, I don't know if the difference is coming from the internet speed boost or if it's coming from transitioning from the wireless to the wired connection, or both. But whatever the case may be, I can definitely tell the difference. Right, because firefights that I ordinarily would have lost, I'm starting to win. And you know, just to be fair, you know, I don't know if it's that I'm paying a little extra attention to it now that I've gotten the boost. You know, I don't know if that's it, but all I can say is the results. I mean, I just really can't argue. You know, you can't really argue results. You know, at the end of the day, you know, when I'm shooting an opponent, it doesn't feel like I have to shoot a whole bunch of rounds in them like I did before. Because, as a matter of fact, there's an article by GG, and I guess the article is titled, and I don't have the article in front of me, but It's titled something like getting rid of lag or something about lag, and it basically just a short article that tells you, you know, some signs and symptoms that either you have a bad connection or the people you are playing with have a bad connection, and they offer some suggestions for you to improve your gaming experience. And in addition to that, I mean, for a lot of you guys who like to play wireless, I'm pretty sure you guys will get those notices like I used to get at the bottom of the screen every now and then, where it would say, you know, for a better gaming experience, you know, use a wired connection. So like I said, you know, after doing my homework a little bit and checking out a few articles, I figured that I would go ahead and make that transition, because, you know, there's a lot of die-hard first-person shooter guys out there, and I mean, they have everything together, you know, from the highest of speeds, you know, that their region offers, to the wired connection, you know, even to, you know, what they call a gaming TV, right? And that'll just let you know how much of a noob that I am, because I never even knew anything about having a gaming TV. Now, I don't know if it's because I only played one game for a long time. Now, granted, I played a lot of Killzone 3, you know, I played a lot of Killzone 2. But I mean, even back then, I mean, you know, my wireless connection was good enough for me. You know, I had pretty good results. I was, for the most part, happy with my experience. But after doing a little reading, I found out that, you know, with regard to televisions, they have this thing that you know, that they call input lag. And, you know, for certain modern televisions, there is an option for you to switch over to gaming mode. And guess what? I didn't even know anything about that. And like I said before, that lets you know what kind of noob that I am, because I didn't know anything about a gaming mode. Right now, you know, was the option on my television? Yes. But did I really, you know, pay it any attention? No, not really. And, you know, one thing that really convinced me to do research is, you know, in my basement, I have a 60-inch flat screen TV. Right. And in my room, I have, I don't know if it's a 32-inch or a 40. It's no larger than a 42-inch. Right. And it's no less than a 32-inch. So somewhere between a 32 and a 42. I've had that TV for a few years now. I can't even remember. But anyway, one thing that I would notice is that when I would play on my larger TV, it's like I would play a lot worse than what I would play if I were using the smaller screen TV. And you know, a lot of times, you know, I would record on my larger TV, and during the time that I would play games, you know, I mean, it would be satisfying. But once I went upstairs and I wasn't recording, I would always think to myself, like, holy shit, how come I can't play this well when I'm in the basement? So, you know, the pattern just became so constant that I decided to look up on Google about input lag in televisions. And, you know, just as I thought, they did say that, you know, there are some issues with larger TVs and input lag, and, you know, what you can do to try to compensate for it. One thing that they suggest that you can do is change from, I guess, the standard mode to the gaming mode. Right. And I mean, and if all you techies out there, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. So one thing that I noticed on the smaller TV, like there was like no input lag at all. Whereas on the larger TV, I had to change some settings. Right. But I mean, just before I read the article, I just went on ahead and took all my recording equipment upstairs, because I'm like, you know what, I'm getting better results upstairs. Let me just go ahead and play upstairs. But after I read the article, I said, you know what, I just might as well leave my HD PVR upstairs. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to keep moving all this equipment around. So like I said before, that has definitely improved my gaming experiences as far as first-person shooters are concerned, in addition to the wired connection to my PS4 and the internet speed boost. I can definitely tell the difference. Alright, so enough about that. I think I've talked enough about switching from the caveman, I guess you can call it, caveman style gaming to a more modern gaming. Alright, so this is the factory, and this is an extended map. And you know what? I've been playing a lot on the extended maps lately because, you know, I really need to get a lot more unlocks. At this point, I think I'm at around, I don't know, just under 1350. And like I said before, there's a total of, what is it, 1545? So I'm like 200 unlocks shy. Right? And a lot of those unlocks are coming from challenges that I just really do not want to dedicate time to. Some of them include the air drone, right? Getting level 11 on the air drone. I really do not like that air drone because, you know, as OP as it may seem when it is killing you, it is not really OP when you're using it. Now, I can't really speak for anyone else's experiences, but at least for myself, you know, it's kind of like when I'm faced against an air drone, like I'll die real quick, right? Especially if I don't, you know, run for cover, or if I don't flank it and shoot it down with a missile, or, you know, if it isn't destroyed by someone else. A lot of times, you know, if someone just throws an air drone overhead, I'm done. But whenever I deploy my own air drone, like you would think to yourself, as often as you die by them, you would say to yourself like, okay, I'm getting ready to own with the air drone. But that's not even the case. Now, I don't know if my results are typical from everyone else's experiences, but my air drones are definitely not OP. Now, I know some of you guys may say, well, Brigade, I mean, that's probably because you have a low level air drone. Well, I think my air drone is like level 7 or 8. I mean, that's more than halfway, right? So, I mean, I can kind of understand that if it was a brand new air drone, which I think the time, as a matter of fact, I think the only thing that the levels improve is the duration that they're out. I think that's the only thing that changes. I don't know if they get more aggressive. I don't really know. I didn't really pay that much to the description. I didn't really invest that much time in reading it. But I think it only improves the length of time that they're out. So, you know, I don't know what it is, but they're definitely not OP from the user standpoint. So I really don't want to take a lot of time to invest in the air drones, but I know I will have to. I don't want to invest a lot of time in trying to complete the buddy drone for the assault class. I think you need like either 350 or 400 kills. That's going to take forever. Forever is going to take to accomplish that objective. Now, at least up to this point, I haven't run into any, you know, buddy drone only war zones, and if I happen to catch up with one, I will definitely join it because I really need to upgrade my buddy drone. Now, one thing that I have experienced with the assault class and trying to get more kills with the buddy drone, you're not going to get a lot of kills. Well, number one, you're not going to get a lot of kills with it anyway. I mean, so let's just go ahead and get this thing off right. Number one, you're not going to get a lot of kills with it. But I think you're going to decrease your likeliness of getting kills if you use, let's just say, a strong weapon. Like, let's just say a breacher. Or what else is it? Breacher. Oh, a breacher, a rumbler, or the Kaiser. If you use any of those three weapons, I doubt if you get a lot of opportunities to get buddy drone kills. On the other hand, now, like I said before, these are just my own experiences. I know everyone else, you know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be someone out there like, well, Brigade, you don't know what you're talking about because I use the breacher, the Kaiser, and the rumbler, and I just get mad kills, son. Like, I know somebody's going to say that. Like, every single time I say something, there's always a token out there saying it's not true. So, I know you're going to be out there saying how wrong I am, but at the end of the day, I'm talking about my own experiences. One thing that I do whenever I'm trying to get more buddy drone kills, I use weaker weapons. Like, in other words, I'll use either the Valk or the Vlug. In most cases, I just use the Vlug because that Valk, I mean, it just kind of sucks. But the Vlug is not really all that bad. So either I'll use... Either I'll use the Valk or the Vlug, you know, just by themselves, or I'll use, now which one has a shotgun attachment? I think is the Vlug that has the shotgun attachment, but I'll use the Valk or the Vlug, and I'll use a shotgun attachment. Now with the shotgun attachment, what I'll do is, like, I won't be right up on them, right? So as to not guarantee a one-shot kill, but I'll kind of shoot them from a distance to weaken them a little bit. And then once I weaken them with the distanced shot, then my buddy drone is able to go ahead and finish them off. I have found that using that tactic and using weaker weapons, you know, such as either your pistols, your Valk, or your Vlug, I have noticed that I have started to get a lot more kills than what I would get when I used, like I said before, let's just say the Rumbler, the Breacher, or the Kaiser. Now, these are just my own experiences. And like I said before, you know, there were some maps where I got like 7 or 8 buddy drone kills just by using weaker weapons. Because whenever you use a Breacher, you know, a Kaiser, or a Rumbler, you're almost guaranteed to kill your opponent before your buddy drone even has an opportunity, in some cases, to even get a shot off. Now, the buddy drone will help when, let's just say, you're running around and there's someone approaching you, you know, to your left or right flank or to your rear, and you don't notice them, and perhaps if they're weak enough, they can kill them. But I'm talking about like a head-on fight. I have noticed that I have started to get a lot more kills by using the aforementioned methods, as opposed to using weapons such as the Rumbler, the Breacher, or the Kaiser. Right, so that's just a little suggestion for all of those who are really trying to accomplish that dreaded buddy drone kill unlocks. And like I said before, I think it's either 350 to reach level 11 or 400. I'm not really sure. I don't have the information in front of me. Alright, so other unlocks that I really need to work on. I really need to work on my pistol unlocks. Especially that punt. I think I need like 200 punt kills, and I think at this point I only have like 86. So, you know, maybe I need to create my own pistol only Warzone, or hopefully, you know, sometime in the near future I'll run into someone else's created pistol only Warzone. But either way it go, I really, because that punt, you know, number one, you have to charge it. So, you know, if it's not charged and someone runs up on you, you're screwed. Number two, even if it is charged and you're able to get a shot off, if you're not successful with that first hit, you're going to have to charge it again just in order to get a second attempt. And in most cases, like, unless your opponent just really has bad aiming, you're probably going to be dead between the time that you miss and the time that you charge up to be able to fire up the second round with the M6 punt. So, you know, that, and in addition to, you know, there's just not really that many opportunities unless you just want to go ahead, go balls to the wall, and just go pistol. Did you guys just notice? Did you guys just notice him just leap from that ladder and on to me? Like, out of everybody in this room, I'm the victim. That was crazy. Okay, but anyway, so that's a couple other challenges. So it's the assault class challenges with the buddy drone, it's the support class challenges with the air drone, and you know, a lot of those handgun objectives. Now, aside from those, you know, a lot of the other unlocks that I need to accomplish, they just basically come with doing missions, right? Like, in other words, you do enough missions, eventually you will do it. And when I say missions, I'm not talking about you know, just playing them. I'm talking about pursuing the missions. So, you know, for a lot of you guys that may be stuck at like 400 or 500, you know, unlocks because you play team deathmatch all the time, well, guess what? A lot of your unlocks actually come with doing more and more missions in the Warzone, which is another incentive to play the Warzone over playing a little too much team deathmatch. Now, with regard to the team deathmatch, I've been playing Team Deathmatch because I really had to work on a lot of my Scout class unlocks. And after playing that, I can really tell where a lot of players get this kill only and ignore missions type of mentality. I can really tell because I swear every single time I play Team Deathmatch, all it is a camp fest. That's all it is. It's only a camp fest. As a matter of fact, you know, just so you guys just don't hear what I have to say, I'm going to go ahead and upload a few Team Deathmatch maps. I think I have about 5 or 6 recorded. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do 5 or 6 uploads dedicated to Team Deathmatch because it just really doesn't excite me. Like, I really wouldn't have that much to say. But I will perhaps dedicate maybe 1 or 2 maps to commentaries for the Team Deathmatch. And it really sucks. I really didn't enjoy myself. But at the same time, you know, if you guys are trying to, as a matter of fact, I'll put it to you this way. If you guys are new to Killzone Shadow Fall, this is what I would suggest. If you're brand new, start off in Team Deathmatch. It's pretty ironic that I talk about how much I don't like it, but I'm suggesting for you to start off there. Why would I suggest for you to start off in Team Deathmatch? Number one, you get to experiment with the weapons. You get a feel for the weapons. You get to find out, you know, which starter weapons will suit your interest, right? Suit your preferences. Because you might have a hard time just going head first into the war zones, especially if you're new to the game. You don't really know what the war zone's about. You don't really know what the mission types are, and you're just basically all the way confused. Team Deathmatch is so like one-dimensional. Like, in other words, all you have to do is run around in a circle and find people to kill. That's pretty easy. So it's actually a good thing, in my personal opinion, for either new players or for players who are trying to get certain unlocks that it might be a little more difficult in war zones to complete. Now, after, you know, if you're new, especially new to the franchise, you know, and after you play Team Deathmatch for, I say, a straight week, right? Maybe if you just dedicate a straight week to it, then maybe you can go ahead, and actually I wouldn't even say maybe, then I would suggest for you to go ahead and start off with the classic war zones. The classic war zones are small enough to where, you know, if you dedicate a significant amount of time to them, and keep in mind, we're not talking about experienced players. Once again, we're talking about people who are relatively new. You know, it'll give you an opportunity to find out a little bit about the mission types, familiarize yourself a little bit with the pace of the game and what you should be doing with the types of missions that are offered during the classic. And I believe it's up to 5 missions. Yeah, I believe it's 5, and the standard 24-man Warzone has 4. So, you know, after playing the classic for a while, then perhaps you would be ready to go ahead and start off with the 24-man. Once you start off with the 24-man, then I think you would definitely be ready for the extended war zones. And there's a lot of incentive for everyone, especially if you want to get a lot of unlocks. There's a lot of incentive for everyone to play all 4 modes. All right, all 4 meaning obviously Team Deathmatch, the classic, the standard 24-man Warzone, and the 24-man extended war zones. Now, in between, you know, like I said before, if you want to work on a few other things that are a little more difficult to achieve, you know, like I said before, with the drone buddy or with the air support drone, then you might want to create your own war zone, for which, I mean, I created a few, right? One I have, I think it's called Capture Kings. And basically, the only thing it is capture related missions. So it's capture and move, capture and connect, and capture and hold. Right, that's my Capture King. So for a lot of those guys like to work on their capture related unlocks, that's my Capture Kings. All right, then I have a Beacon Kings Warzone. Obviously, is all about get more unlocks for the beacon related missions, right? So it's beacon retrieval, beacon theft, and beacon safeguard, right? So for anyone who need to work on those, I even have a war zone dedicated for that. And then after that, I think I have Pistol Kings. As a matter of fact, all of my war zones have some type of kings on it, right? So it's Capture Kings, Beacon Kings, and I think the last one is Pistol Kings. I think, I'm not really sure. I haven't really played on that one a lot, but I believe it's called Pistol Kings, and is basically designed for anyone who needs to get more kills, and you know, they want to satisfy more objectives with the pistols. And for the assault class, you can actually use your buddy drone, right? So I think that's a good war zone for you to upgrade both your pistol unlocks and your buddy drone kills. So that would be my suggestion for new players, because like I said before, this game has a learning curve, especially when compared to games like Call of Duty and some of these other games that pretty much don't require anything of you other than getting kills, right? They're more based on the individual, whereas Killzone Shadow Fall war zones are more based on the team. And you know, unfortunately, GG has taken a turn from what the Killzone's franchise is supposed to be about, and I really hate that they've taken that turn. You know, and I know a lot of people want to say, dude, get over it. You know, these other installments are improvements, or what they would consider to be improvements. But if you guys, you know, have been with Killzone since part 2, you know, like I have played part 2, then you guys would know that it was always about war zones. It was never about this team deathmatch crap, right? And you know, there was just a few things that just made Killzone, Killzone, right? Case in point, they had assassination mode. Like, I don't know who was on the board of directors or who was the hotshot who made decisions and who decided to get rid of assassination mode, but that was classic Killzone. Like, that was one of those Killzone trademarks, assassination, right? Now they've changed assassination to basically beacon safeguard. It basically functions the same, but instead of an individual being the target, like, you just have to safeguard a beacon. And it kind of sucks. Like, in other words, when they decided to make Killzone Shadow Fall, like, who were the ones who made suggestions? And, you know, for the ones who made these suggestions, what were their suggestions, like, based upon? Couldn't have been player feedback. Definitely couldn't have been player feedback. Well, actually, let me take that back. You know, because speaking of player feedback, one thing that was funny to me when you compare Killzone Shadow Fall to Killzone 3, especially, so many people bitched and moaned about the sniper class in Killzone 3. So many people. Oh my god, that sniper class is so OP. Oh my god, all they do, they hide in the background. Number one, it was never that much of a big deal to me. And the reason why it wasn't that much of a big deal to me is because, you know, if you knew all the hideouts, like, if a sniper killed me once, I knew where I was going to, you know, I knew what I was going to do next. I was going to serve as a deterrent. I would use my proximity mines. I would just haunt them, kill them 2 or 3 times, right? Because if you kill the same person over and over and over in the same location, eventually they're going to get the hint. And that's basically how I would deal with them. And there were some routes that I would take as opposed to others. So to me, you know, I mean, the sniper class wasn't that bad. Now, it was a lot more OP than the scout class in this game, but it really wasn't that bad. I honestly do not see what the big deal was, but there were so many people who bitched and moaned about the sniper class in Killzone 3. And, you know, on top of that, they asked for a nerf. They begged, they pleaded, and GG was like, listen, dude, I mean, no, we're not going to nerf it. Like, they made one change that came with a patch a little early on, but after that, you know, they decided not to. But by listening to the feedback, I guess all the changes they went on ahead and added to Killzone Shadow Fall. And actually, I'm running out of the dialogue. The video is over. So we'll pick this up in the next video. So, hey, until next time, Martyrs Brigade is out.